I'm going to lower my hand and I'm going to point the cane back at the golf ball. And it's this motion, pointing the cane back at the golf ball in conjunction with a lowering of the hand, that is the opposite of a lowering hand, an inside out track with the handle and an internal rotation. That is one of the most cancerous moves in golf. Little glove and an alignment stick is going to really help you line that up. So you go up to the top, you move it forwards, there's the pressure down, there's the pressure down and around. I'm going to show you how an alignment stick poked in your club is going to be the answer to your woes. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about the handle. Now, if you've watched enough of my content, you may have come across a video that talked about the handle coming forwards and then the handle working down and creating shots that just many of you might only have dreamed of. 6 degrees down, a path line that is dead straight. On that one, it was a tiny little fade, but you can equally keep the handle out here and still hit some beautiful draws down to the ball line. So, how do I do it? I've had lots of questions about how the handle in delivery gets from being out here back down in line with my left shoulder and the face lined up. Now, of course, when people then say, Stuart, when I slow-mo your swing down, I don't see the club all the way out here. Of course you don't, but it's certainly where I'm trying to drive the handle. The incessant desire for golfers across the land of getting either the golf club down and out to the right, that is one of the most cancerous moves in golf. And the second most cancerous move in golf is tucking of the right arm, flattening of the left wrist in an effort to trip a draw. Now you can see in both of those moves, if you're familiar with my tiles, the club path was positive inside out in both of those moves. And equally, if I make a golf swing and I move the handle forwards, I can equally make my club path from the inside. So I've demonstrated 3 different moves of the handle. They've all delivered a path from the inside, but I believe only one of them is correct. What we understand is that this club needs to arc from in to in. So there's the golf ball. The club wants to approach from the in and exit from the in. If you are one of those golfers out there that believes your club head should trace outside of the ball to target line, you're some sort of cretin. I joke. But you're a lunatic, put it that way. Because we never want the club to hit outside the ball line. That's where Shanksville comes from and all sorts of nastiness. So our desire, as I've said so many times in my videos about how the handle wants to move in to in, is a really, really interesting dynamic. Excuse me. And so what has happened with golfers is that, I'm just going to grab another golf club, because golfers have worked the club from inside to out. So the club, whether you've actually tried to drive the club down or you've tried to tuck your right elbow in, your club in your circle, your golf swing, has fundamentally gone from low to high. Low as in inside, out. And so you can see the height of this club in my left hand and the height of this club in my right hand is the height differential when a golfer has worked from inside out. What I propose in my advice is that when the golf club is now working through the ball, this downward pressure is the very ingredient that gets the handle from going high to going low. So that's the issue number one that golfers have got, that their handle goes from low to high through strike. The other issue that golfers have got is that because you have worked on the club going from inside out, and I'll just pop this other club down, you have had your left forearm have excessive internal rotation. Internal rotation, because you're trying to make the club go out to the right. And if you think about this logically, if you've got a light end and you've got a heavy end, the minute I push the light end over there, look what it does to my forearm. Can you see how the light end gets sucked? I can push the light end out, but the heavy end sucks my forearm into internal rotation, which is what causes the face to then be open. And that's where flattening of left wrists comes from, to line the face up. So with the aid of this little glove and an alignment stick, I'm going to give you a pretty powerful drill to fix your feels through impact. So I've got myself a glove, one of my old ones, just an old Trixon glove. I wouldn't waste a GX golf glove on this. And all I've done is, in my middle finger, I've just cut a little hole, poked it through the bottom. And so what this is going to enable us to do is a couple of things. It's going to allow us to feel how the hand in our downswing can stay high. So I make my setup, and when you make your setup, put the palm of the hand to the floor and point the cane to the golf ball. You can see I've kind of split the cane each side. So I've got 50% this end, 50% this end. And then what I've done is I put my hand by my side and got the cane just outside my left leg, pointing at the golf ball. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the top of my backswing. Doesn't matter where your arm lift is. If you've got a low arm lift, that's fine. If you've got a high arm lift, that's fine too. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my arm lift at the same height, and I'm just going to unravel my body so I'm back to straight. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower my hand and I'm going to point the cane back at the golf ball. And it's this motion, pointing the cane back at the golf ball, in conjunction with a lowering of the hand, that is the opposite of a lowering hand, an inside out track with the handle, and an internal rotation. Where I want you to be is handle lower and external rotation. You can therefore understand why people find this so difficult to do, because when they come into their downswing and they're so used to getting low with the handle out to the right and internally rotated with the forearm, and then I say to golfers, get the handle forwards, now move the handle down and externally rotate the forearm. And so that down and external rotation that now allows the cane to hit my side. And if you've been one of those golfers that stuck one of these canes up the end of a golf club in an effort to get shaft lean, good luck with that, because that's garbage. And so the right side of the body that now allows the golf club to unload into my left leg, that's externally rotated, that now gives me some downforce, some external rotation, and now I can start to move around. Now look at how my handle is low. Look at how my left forearm has externally rotated, which has now given way for this right shoulder and right arm to start to sit down and around. So I set myself up, I go up to the top, I move the handle forwards, I move the handle down, and I start to unload the forearm. And because I've now got cup in my wrist, I've now got some loft in the golf club. External rotation, some cup in the left wrist, and I unravel my body. And I can still keep the pressure on the alignment stick here and keep some cup in my wrist. Let's put that with a golf ball and take the glove off. With the club in hand and the good grip, do go check out my grip series because that is really, really important. So I'm going to go move forwards. Now I'm going to move the handle down an external rotation. There's that motion that I've just been doing with that cane, with my left hand. Moving the handle down, external rotation. Handle down, external rotation. Handle down, external rotation. And so that feeling of the lowering of the hand and the external rotation of the hand is what's going to allow us to feel like we can get the golf club from over here down into strike. From over here down into strike. Handle was over here. I created downward pressure, external rotation. If you're tired of paying too much for your premium leather golf gloves, head over to gxgolfgloves.com. These are premium leather golf gloves that are trusted by tour players and elite amateurs alike. Use my code GOODGOLFCOACHING for 10% off your next order, and I promise you, you won't ever look back. I mean, honestly, it gets boring, right? Me keep on gloating about this stuff, because if I were kept on watching me, I'd get bored. But my point is, this stuff is easy. I am not a talented golfer. All I am doing is just working the lever system, working the ground, and understanding how we move around the golf ball. So once more for me. I'm going to move the handle forwards. Now I'm going to work the pressure down, and get this golf club to line back up. If we don't have an opportunity or a sensation of a handle going from high to low, you will never line it all up. But if the lion's share of the world's golfers have gone from low to high, that's where you've been running your handle from down there to up there, and I'm asking you to run your handle from up there to down there. Is there any wonder why you can't? A lot of people go, sure, I can't get back to the golf ball. I don't really understand it. I see it, but I don't really understand it, or I can't feel it. And that's why that little glove and an alignment stick is going to really help you line that up. So you go up to the top, we move it forwards. There's the pressure down. There's the pressure down and around, which allows that left shoulder to sit down. If you haven't seen that, go check out my left shoulder video, because that left shoulder video is a crucial one for understanding how that left hand works and that external rotation works. And so when I then put that with a golf ball, hopefully it can still work and not just in demo. And we can get the golf ball coming out pretty darn straight. So get yourself an alignment stick. Cut a little hole at the tip of the middle finger, slide it down, get yourself out there practicing on the range, and hopefully, just hopefully, you'll start to strike the golf ball just that little bit better. Thank you so much for watching. Do consider subscribing while you're here, share with your friends, and I think you'll find that, my friends, is good coaching.